Hey everyone, welcome to the Friday night show Up All Night with Razor and Seth Zor. Tonight we'll be talking about Scream 5. Yes, it's Scream 5. It's not Scream 2022. It's Scream 5. And I gotta tell you, lately I've been not feeling myself. Sometimes I just need a pick-me-up. So I grab myself a Snickers bar. It satisfies. Okay. So that's 3 weeks in a row that I've done like a fucking stupid ad. Anyway. Let me bring Seth in, and we'll get started on the show. Seth, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man?
Did you know that Snickers satisfies?
I did not know that until now.
Well, there you go. It even fucking says it on the package. Anyway, we get no money from Snickers or Doritos or who was it last week? I forgot already. Do you remember? Yeah. I guess my ad campaigns aren't going very well then. Anyway, we are here to talk about the final Scream movie until next week. Scream 5, which I want to kind of get a couple of reactions from, well, myself and you, and we'll talk about what we think of the movie. First thing I wanted to talk about was when Scream 5 was announced. What were your initial reactions, your thoughts, your feelings about it? Because I know that you're a big fan of the franchise. We both are, and our scores are very close on most of the movies. So like when this was announced, because I think was it 2019 that it was announced, something like that.
Yeah, I believe so. I think I was intrigued when I found out that the guys who made Ready or Not were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
A little skeptical with because Wes Craven wasn't around to do it, and it was being written by someone who wasn't Kevin Williamson.
Right.
So I was a little skeptical at first, but I was optimistic because of the directors involved.
Yeah, I was mixed in my feeling at first. First of all, I was worried they were going to make a remake because I was like, Scream. I think we talked about that. How I don't think Scream ever needs a remake. And then when I heard it was going to be a sequel, I was like, okay, cool. Let's see how they're going to do this and pull it off. And same kind of reaction when I found out it was the guys behind Ready or Not. I was like, that's a fun ass movie. So like that, this could be good. So first images were released, and they show a picture of Richie. And what did I say? I sent the picture to the group chat, and what did I say?
You said that's the killer.
Yep. So that's the killer, and sure enough. But the best part about it was he was so good at trying to play the misdirect game in the movie, where I wasn't like I was questioning myself. I was like, "Is he the killer? I'm not sure," because they did something that I don't think we've seen in a long time in a Scream movie, where we see one of the killers getting attacked by the other Ghostface. And there generally is two, except for in the third movie with Roman. But yeah, so I don't know. Walking out of the theater, that's the next reaction I want to get, is your reaction to when you walk out of the theater after seeing it. Hey, back to Friday the 13th in 2 weeks. So yeah, what was your reactions right out of the theater, if you remember?
That I remember, when I walked out of the theater, I liked it, but I didn't care for the motivations of the killers.
Yeah, neither did I.
And
that seems to be a problem with a few of them for me. Oh, by the way, hold on. Spoilers. We're gonna spoil the shit out of this. If you've not seen it, it's been over a year, or it's been a year. Go ahead. Sorry.
But I mean, since I saw a couple times in theaters. I brought my kids to go see it, and then of course when it came out on Blu-ray, I got it, and the more I watch it, the more I like it.
Yeah. Me, same thing. I think I said that last week when I was talking about 3. I mean no, that was earlier this week. I said when we were with the Bad Moon episode. By the way, check that out. It's on YouTube, and you should. What should I do with our YouTube channel?
You should consider subscribing.
Yeah.
No pressure. The world's at risk, and if you don't do it,
I know.
some catastrophic event will happen.
The end of the world.
It's up to you. Save the world or not.
Yeah, save the cheerleader, save the world. I love that show, by the way. Heroes, that was a good show.
The first season was good.
Yeah, you can never remake Scream. Scream 5 is my second least favorite. I still give it 3.5. So yeah, that's about. I think that's the consensus overall. It's like the fourth best of the 5. Because initially coming out, I was like, no, that was my reaction. I was like, well, I have a few issues, like their motivation, like you said. I didn't like the use of Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox. They almost did not need to be in this movie at all. You know, in my opinion, it was cool seeing him back in Stu's house and all that. But it's like, you know, I liked a lot of the new cast, and I like that they brought back a lot of legacy stuff without it being, you know, like Deputy Judy from 4. One of her kids is one, you know. So there's a lot to it I like, but I'm like, man, I feel odd about this one. And then I showed my kids when it came out on Blu-ray, and they just loved it. They thought it was so much fun, which, you know, Reynolds' favorite horror franchise is Scream. So what happened? Did I freeze?
You were frozen, yeah.
Okay. It said not connected for a second. I was like, what? What happened?
I mean, you sounded fine. I could hear you all the way throughout. It's just your image froze.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yep.
Okay. That's fair. Scream 4 is good, or Scream 2 is good. But yeah, so like I was just like not sure, and the kids loved it. So I watched it with them, and they had a lot of fun. And something about watching these movies with my kids that kind of like, it's like, okay, let me see if I can see what they see. So I watched it again back in February. I really was kind of getting into it a little bit more, you know. And so, like you said, I think I like this one more the more I watch it, you know. Kind of like it's having the same effect that Halloween Kills is having on me, unfortunately, for Halloween Kills. Because, you know, evil dies tonight. So, but anyway, yeah, so I do like this one. I do like it better than 3. I still like 3. So, in my opinion, there is not a weak chapter in the Scream saga at all. Because I do like 3. It's just the weakest of the 5. We'll see about 6. And then, but I don't know. So 4 really hits a chord with me for some reason. And 2 is just one of the best sequels of all time, which I put in my 90s ranking, that Child's Play 2 and Scream 2 are like 2 of the best follow-ups to an original of any horror franchise, just about. I'm trying to think if there's anything better. But anyway, so let's talk about that. The motivation. Like, what about it is kind of like bothers you? Well, first of all, explain what their motivation was, if you don't mind. Again, spoilers.
Yeah, so basically what happened was Rian Johnson directed the 8th Stab movie. Made a lot
by the way.
Made a lot of fans angry. And so these two wanted to bring it back, to bring the series back to its roots. And so they wanted to give a fresh new story based on, I'm not going to say the word, like the R word that they use, which is annoying.
I'll say it. Cover your ears. Requel. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know, it just seemed a little much. Not to mention, we kind of it was, to me, it kind of felt similar to Jill's motivation, Jill and Charlie in Scream 4. So it was like, oh, they're doing this thing again where, you know, someone wants to make their own sequel, real life sequel, because they're fans or whatever. So I don't know. It just, there was just something about it that bothered me. I just felt like it was kind of weak. it's kind of weird for Scream because I don't know, you know, they're obviously going for the Star Wars thing.
I think that it's when I was watching the movie in the theater, I went by myself, by the way. And anyway, when I saw it in the theater, I was like, when they had that kind of like that discussion, that roundtable discussion at the Meeks house, or whatever they, how are they Meeks if she get, did she not get married? Martha, Martha.
Well,
Anyway,
they're they have a hyphen, so it's like
oh, that's
Chad and
right.
Mindy Meeks slash Martin or Dash Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that I like that scene and how they explain everything, and you know how I feel about these titles like Scream being a title, and you know it should be just Scream 5, and
Yeah.
Halloween being Halloween, the 2018 movie. That shit pisses me off, and they kind of addressed that, which I liked, and made fun of
Yeah.
themselves in the process. But
Yeah.
yeah, the motivation just didn't really get me, you know. And I like at this point, like, what can the motivation be? You know, I mean, Billy had like, I think his motivation was the best of all of them. You know, like almost like a revenge scenario, eye for an eye. You know, and then
Yeah.
uh, Mickey's was bullshit, but he was also he was basically the stew to Mrs. Loomis in what, you know, like the Debbie Salt, the Debbie Loomis, whatever. Is it Debbie Loomis? Is that her actual name?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you know Roman. I mean, he had probably the actual best, but it got to the third movie and they got lazy in my opinion with that. But you know, and then the last two is just like, oh, come on. So I'm curious to know coming up in Scream 6 what the killer's motivation is and who the killer is, of course, which you already know. And knowing that you know does not satisfy me. So I guess I'll find out on Thursday. But yeah, so and I was not surprised by the killers in this one. Like I said, like they did a good job of kind of masking Richie, but Amber, who like her presence in the movie was so minimal. It's like you almost forgot who she was by the time the party came around. I did anyway. I was like, who the fuck is that? When I saw her, you know, in that scene with her and Mindy in the basement, I was like, who is this? Oh,
Throughout the movie, like I just thought she was kind of obvious. Just like the reactions on her face, like
mhm.
it didn't seem like a red herring type thing. And not to mention, I still had in my mind her from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that whole awesome ending to that movie.
Mhm.
You know, and she has actually a similar death in this.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
in that.
That's because what she's gonna be known for. Hey, we need somebody to be lit on fire. You in? Say no more.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I thought she was pretty obvious, and but the thing with Richie was I was down it too because I went in thinking, okay, maybe Ray's right,
Mm.
but like that scene like early on where him and Sam are driving to Woodsboro and they're talking about how he never saw the Stab
Yeah,
movies, like it to me it kind of like felt genuine, you
yeah.
know, because I mean obviously, you know, none of us have seen every single movie ever made, and
Well,
you
and
know,
then he goes down the YouTube rabbit hole at one point, you know,
mhm.
and it's like, yeah, so like you genuinely feel like he's playing catch up because he lived in, you know, Northern California, wherever it was they were from, and he was catching up because he didn't know, you know, like the whole story, didn't see the stab movies and stuff. So you're like, man, so yeah, I was second guessing myself because I went in. I remember going to the theater, looking at the poster, and be like, yeah, I see you, you know, like thinking, yeah, I know that's the killer, Richie, you son of a bitch. I didn't know his name, but yeah, the second killer was kind of lost on me. I had my suspicions about Amber early because of the way she was with uh, Gina Ortega's character. What's her name?
Tara.
Tara, yeah. So, yeah, like how weird she was with Tara, and you know, I don't know. Let's. So like when it was her, I was like, again, when it showed her under the mask, I'm like, who is this? Again, I keep forgetting about her, you know. But she was okay. I liked the way she played it at the end, though. Like she was so fucking crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like she was nuts, kind
Well,
of like a
that
movie.
actress, she does it very well.
Yeah.
Between this and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I mean,
Hmm.
she's great as that very like, because she gets like
Unhinged.
she's like psychotic and she's
Hmm.
very like kind of giddy about it as
Yeah.
well.
Which I
And
like
it's
that. I thought that was great. So
yeah,
like when and then she gets lit on fire and all that shit that's the first time we've ever seen that, somebody being lit on fire in a Scream movie, and that robe's got to be super fucking flammable, if you think about it. So that was really cool. And then I like when she comes charging out of the kitchen and pop pop. I
yeah,
thought that was a cool scene.
yeah.
Um, so another thing I'd like to kind of discuss, if you're game for it. And I got to throw the spoiler warning up again, just in case anybody hasn't seen this. You shouldn't even be here. But Dewey's death. I want to discuss Dewey's death. They finally got the balls to kill a legacy, and it's Dewey. And you kind of got the feeling from the trailer this might be it for Dewey, because they do show the like in the first trailer, second trailer, they show that there's going to be a showdown. He empties the bullets or whatever, he reloads, and the ghost face is standing at the end of the hallway and all that shit. And they do have that line. It was my pleasure or whatever. So you're like, somebody's going to die, and like there's that struggle with Dewey, and we know who kills Dewey. Like, sometimes you don't know who kills who in these movies, but we know for sure this was Amber, because Richie got cut by Amber just right before that. So again, just like your thing says, 5'6" in normal clothes, 6'4" is Ghostface. Amber was pretty big as Ghostface, and she's not a tall girl. She's only like 5'2", something like that. And David Arquette, I think, is 5'10", and she was like the same size as him. And that's a huge problem for me. That's why I keep thinking and hoping that in this movie they reveal that there was a third killer in the Scream 5, which they've never done before. I think that would be kind of cool. But
Yeah.
did that take you out of the movie after you found out that she was the second Ghostface, knowing that she's the one who stabbed Dewey and did all that shit at the hospital? Because I think we talked about this early on. I think Ghostface, because she did this stuff at the beginning with Jenna Ortega's Tara, it had to be her. And this was the most menacing, imposing looking Ghostface to me of the last few movies. Like, Ghostface was kind of scary in this one, where I don't think Ghostface was as scary in the 2, 3, and 4, honestly. But like, there was something imposing about this Ghostface, and I think part of it was leaving her alive, breaking her ankles, and being more like brutal. So anyway, yeah, my question. I just ran going on and on, but
Well, it seemed like there was multiple questions in there.
yeah, you
So
have them all.
I got some. Yeah. So first off, with Dewey's
Sorry, that
death.
was a straw.
Yeah. Um. So I knew that before going into the movie because I listened to the score on YouTube, and as I was listening to the score, I kept kind of glancing at the titles, and I shouldn't have. But there was one that was called, I forget what it was called, but I thought it was something about like sacrifice or something like that. And in that track, they played the Dewey's Broken Arrow theme. So I was like, fuck. So I already knew that Dewey was going to die because of that.
Yeah.
I always like the thing I've been saying since coming out of the theater is they killed the wrong legacy character. I felt like Gale should have been the one to die in Scream 5, and Dewey should have lived.
Mm.
As far as Amber doing it, It doesn't bother me so much because this was the same issue with Scream 4, where both Charlie and Jill they're not tall people.
No, one's like 5'6", and I think she's like 5'1" or 5'2".
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when Ghostface is on screen, naturally it's tall because they have a stunt person in there. So it for me, it was kind of like par for the course, I guess.
Well, I mean, somebody in one of the groups suggested that maybe that she had platform heels on or some shit like that, but you see the boots of the Ghostface, and that's not the case. So yeah. I don't know. Like it doesn't bother me almost at all, but like, at the same time, like I said, I'm kind of hoping like that. I keep hoping for this cult aspect, and don't make any facial things saying whether I'm wrong or right, because I do not want to. And I want to know after I have to reveal the movie. But like,
I don't know. I don't know about that anyway.
Okay, well, I'm just hoping they're like, oh yeah, we've been watching you, Sam, or something like that, and that's the case. Is there was 3 of them in Woodsboro this time, and the other one was never unmasked, and they didn't never mention it. I think that would be kind of a fun twist. Or if, like we've talked about before, if there's somebody pulling the strings that was still there in Woodsboro, that is like the mastermind, like the Debbie Salt to Mickey, or Roman to Stu and Billy, as it were. But I don't know. We'll find out. I'm really looking forward to Scream 6. Like, man, I am like really fucking excited. The kids are excited. They're going to get to see their first Scream film on the big screen ever. So it's going to be a good time. Is there any points that you wanted to bring up about Scream 5?
Yeah. So I think I already know the answer, but how do you feel about the whole Billy Loomis hallucination thing?
Okay, like that's not the first time they've done something like this in Scream. Right. So they kind of did something like that with Sidney's mom. So at first I was like, what? And then like one of the parts that bothered me was they didn't de-age him very well. His face looked like, as you get older, your face gets more full, no matter what. And his face was like more full, and like he looked like an older version of himself. And it's like, man, they didn't do a good job with that. So it kind of took me out of it. But I don't know. At first I didn't like it, but the more I watched it, I'm like, there's questions about it. Like, how does she know what he looks like? What he was wearing and shit? Like, I'm confused as to how she would know, like, her image of what her dad was. Well, spoilers, by the way, is exactly basically what he looked like on that final night when he got killed. It's like, how does she know that? So I don't know. It was cool seeing Skeet back in the movie, because I liked him he was great as Billy, and it sucks like you get these characters in these movies that get killed off, and you like them, and you never get to see them again, and it was cool seeing him again. But like, I don't know, but I don't think he's going to be in this one, but I really hope they keep her having these images and she sees him, and like I keep hoping that he's pushing her to the edge to where she becomes Ghostface. That's what I want to see. Is he's gonna pressure her into becoming Ghostface. Avenge your father. Don't you smirk. Anyway, I don't know. What do you think about it? What did you think about it? I was surprised they kept that under lock and key pretty good.
I was surprised too, and like you, it was good to see Skeet back. Like,
yeah, when I saw it, I was like, ah.
Okay. Yeah, but at the same time, one of the things I really didn't like about Scream 3 was the whole thing where Sidney's mother, especially that part where she comes up to the glass window.
Mm-hmm. I think this was done better than that, though.
It was, but I don't know. It just
It
The whole
didn't.
thing with Scream 3,
It didn't satisfy you.
it didn't satisfy. No, because I mean, again, I didn't like the whole thing in Scream 3, so this I didn't really care for this as much. It was nice to see Skeet back and to do that, but you know, it was kind of corny, especially towards the end, where it's like, I mean, he's not supposed to be a ghost; he's supposed to be just her hallucination.
Yeah.
And you know, he's like nudging her to, hey, the knife's over there, and I don't know. It was just kind of corny.
Really, if you think about it, that's her mind telling her like, "Hey, grab that knife." You know,
Yeah.
so it's her subconscious doing that. So in a way, that's where I'm taking it at this point. It's not really Billy; it's her. Like, so I think she's Looney Tunes. That's why I think that they could pull a fast one on us in this next one or the one after where she becomes a ghost face. I like that idea because, and if they don't do that, I won't be surprised if they don't. But I think that's an interesting thing to have their survivor flip and become ghost, you know, the killer. But yeah, I don't know. It was yeah, right. It's kind of corny, but we have to accept it now, just like Sydney's mother, you know, and Scream 3. It's part of the whatever, the lexicon. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was just good seeing Skeet back, and now they need to bring one other character back. Uh, is Mickey's kid in Scream 6? Yeah, I'm the illegitimate son of Mickey. Who?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. It is, you know, it is what it is when it comes down to it. But it was nice seeing him back. I actually liked him. I was hoping to see more of him as an actor. I didn't see like he was in some show. I think it was, what was it called, Jericho or something like that. I never watched it, and I only saw him in a handful of things because I thought he played Billy Loomis really well. You know, he was good in that role, and he just kind of fell off the face of the earth. Meanwhile, we're, you know, smacked in the face with Matthew Lillard in every other movie after Scream came out. Wing Commander and She's All That, and you know, all this all this other shit, and which is not a bad thing. I actually like him too, but you know, I think Bill or Skeet is a better actor. Anyway, moving on. If anybody watching has a question, let us know in the comments, please. Uh, Obviously, Scream is not as a fan favorite franchise as we thought when it came to horror, as the viewership is not very high tonight. Hopefully, we'll get some viewers when we do our Scream ranking show next week. We will reveal our complete 1 through 6 ranking, and we're going to do a short, maybe 15-minute, 20-minute episode about non-spoiler review of Scream 6. And then we'll come back after a short intermission and do the rankings of all 6 movies. But anyway, is there anything else you want to discuss? Because I could pull these rankings out right the fuck right now.
Nothing I can think of.
It's pretty cut and dry. You know, they didn't kill as many people. I love the opening of this. We'll talk, but I haven't seen it. Yeah, you might want to bounce.
We've been dropping spoilers.
Yeah, but I really like the opening, and I also like that they didn't kill her off in the opening. She did everything that they could to her in that scene. Plus, I love the whole thing with the arming the doors, and Ghostface unarms it, and you know, it's like, you know, I also was like, yeah, she knows whoever that is. I don't care if it's spoiled. Well, you're a spoiled brat. No. Oh, by the way, that's still on there. Let's do our ratings. Let's start with yours, as we do. Your rating is an 85%. What was this? Was this the 4th best rating for you?
Yeah, it's my 4th favorite of the series. I think it's pretty strong. I may have rated it too high in certain areas. Yeah, it's weird.
Can't turn back now.
Yeah, Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely like, and like I said, this is a movie that I like more and more every time I watch it.
Do you think in the future it might change your rating?
It's possible. I mean, I don't. I'm trying to remember what I put down for each of the categories, but yeah, I mean, it's a fun watch. It's behind 1, 2, and 4. Definitely, those three I think are the best of the franchise. But
I
this one
think.
it is good. It has a lot of good moments. It is
Mm.
pretty brutal. Um, but yeah, there's certain areas I don't like, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I've heard about the Quarry. It's a werewolf video game, by the way. The Quarry. David Arquette does his voice in it. Yeah, my scores generally are a little bit lower than yours, and I got 80% overall in mine. And I generally do like this movie. There are some issues here and there with it, uh, and I agree with you. I think Gail should have been the legacy to be killed off. It's like I thought she'd be killed off in the fourth movie, and she's making her way into the sixth now. Is she gonna die? Like she's got more lives than you know. What? That's from something. They say that about her, and Gail's got more lives than something.
More lives
Cotton
than a
says it.
cat. It was a Scream
Yeah,
2. Cotton
yeah,
says
that's
it
right.
to her.
Cotton says it. But yeah, I like this movie. I like all of them. Scream 4 is like I don't know what it is about that one that I like so much, but I really do like that one. So it's like every time I watch it, it creeps up on the list. And actually, with these ratings, it surpassed Scream 2 as my second favorite, which I didn't think was going to happen. One thing we forgot to mention that I really do like about this is they did tributes for Wes Craven. Uh, at the party, they all did the toast for Wes, and there were old cast members there.
Yeah.
And that were all. I think Jamie Kennedy was there. I think Matthew Lillard might have been there. I'm sure Skeet was there, and they were all for Wes. Which was a nice tribute to Wes Craven, who
Yeah.
unfortunately passed away a few years ago from the same thing my wife died from, glioblastoma. But our overall score is 83%, which I think is a pretty good score. Um, yeah, there's nothing really to say. Pretty cut and dry. Cut and dry. Um, I like that score for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no choice. And then audience scores. So we did the 5-star ratings on Facebook, and we are continuing with those until we start March Madness at some point here in March. And I'll put a pause on those 5-star ratings and go back to those when we're done with March Madness. But it's got a 69% rating from our audience, from our followers, which, like I said, I don't think Scream is as popular as we think it is. Like this, there's not these have not gotten as many votes as some of the other franchises, and they're not as highly rated as a lot of the other franchises. And there's people like our friend V who really hates these movies, and I've seen some of the comments, and people just don't seem to care about these movies as much as I thought, which is a shame because these are the same people who fucking love slasher movies. It's like these are an obvious love letter to slashers. Come on. What's the problem? Is it because it's a teen movie? Grow up. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the audience score?
Seems about right from all the comments I've seen. I mean, this movie has been pretty divisive since it came out. I mean, I've seen fans fight with each other nonstop.
Well, that's just
Um,
the trend these days, though. With any movie, it seems like,
yeah,
oh, you
but
like
just
Scream
like
5? Fuck you.
yeah,
Oh, you didn't
but
like it? Fuck you.
yeah. There's some people who really go to bat for it, and then there's other people who think it's the worst one.
Yeah, my initial reaction was not. It's not the worst one, and it's I don't think it'll surpass Scream 2 or 4 for me. It's probably gonna be, and like my hopes. I hate doing this, but my hopes for Scream 6 is that it's the my third or fourth best favorite. We'll see, of course, next week when we see the movie. I can't believe it's next week already, dude.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that awesome? Like, I was talking to my friend today, and I was like, "Oh shit, Scream comes out next week! Holy shit, I got to get my tickets." But yeah, like, I wanted to take the second half of the show and kind of talk about Scream 6 a little bit. I know we have done a theory show, but um, it's been a few weeks since we've done that, and I know that you, for the most part, know who the killers are. But like, what are some of the things you're hoping to see in this one? I mean, do you have you don't want to have a checklist of things that need to happen in a movie, but there are things that like within a Scream movie that you expect to see. Is there anything that you're kind of like hoping to see in this one?
Yeah, I'm actually hoping that now that they they did Scream 5, they brought it back to Woodsboro again. They
Mm-hmm.
did their sort of like Wes Craven feeling Scream movie. So I'm hoping for this one is now that they've established themselves that they are going to do something a little different. I still want it to feel like a Scream movie, but I want them to do something that will make this one stand out more. And I think
Mm-hmm.
they have the perfect solution to that by setting it in New York City. And I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm very excited about seeing a Scream movie taking place in that environment. And I think one of the things that really struck me from the trailers is that scene in the shop. Um,
The
I don't
bodega.
mind Ghostface using a shotgun. All the
Yeah.
Ghostface killers have used guns in all of the movies previously. Just they were handguns instead of shotguns. I just want to see a more brutal Ghostface. I want to see them take chances and really kind of up the ante. Um, and you know, I want to see several of the previous characters die. Not because I don't like the characters, but because I feel like they have an opportunity with this one to just go very, very savage with it. And I just want to see them take some chances and take advantage of the setting and just gonna knock it out of the park. I'm kind of personally hoping that this is going to be the best Sense Part Two.
Yeah. That's kind of where I am too, even though I like four a little bit better than two. But I think that this has the opportunity, like you're saying, to be the best one since then. And there's a lot that like what you said, man. I hope they kill off Mindy. I mean, they're showing that she could die. I hope they kill off both of them, just because it's their second movie. They're related to Randy. Randy died in Scream 2.
Yep.
I just think that would kind of be like it's like poetry. Like George Lucas said. But I think that would be cool. As far as like, and I know and I don't. Again, I'm not going to look at you at this point, but like, I hope that, like I said, and I won't be mad if it doesn't, but I really hope Sam is one of the killers. Like, I really like, or something happens to where she does become something like that, because I think that'd be great. And there are theories out there that Tara Jenna Ortega's character may be one of the killers. There are also theories that she's dating the other. I can't remember the guy's name. Um, the Meek character. I can't think of his name. But there's all kinds of shit going around. I'm curious. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is who do you think Samara Weaving's there to be the opening kill?
I definitely think Samara Weaving will be the opening kill.
Okay. I hope not, because I like her quite a bit. I like
Me
her.
too.
I think her as a ghost face would be amazing, but yeah, I don't think that's happening. Cocaine Bear is awesome, but Grizzly is still the greatest Killer Bear movie. Scream needs to pull out a rocket launcher. I am less likely to see Cocaine Bear now than I was leading up to it.
Why?
I just don't think I'm gonna like it.
It's a fun movie, man.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that. I've like people that I know that I have the same mindset when it comes to movies. They hated it, and it's like, oh, you hated it, that means I'm probably gonna hate it. So I'll see it eventually. I also don't believe that without seeing it, I don't know. Like the only reason I really wanted to see it anyway was because it was kind of being marketed as a horror movie, and if it's not like a horror movie, I'll wait. It's
It's it's a horror comedy, and it's brutal. There's some brutal kills in it.
I'll be the judge of that, and then I'll piss Nathan off whenever we do our top list and not have it on my list for 2023. Like I already have a feel. Like this year, like last year, I went balls deep into these movies, watching almost 60, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing that this year. If nothing catches my eye, I'm not going to watch it. If you guys suggest something, that's a different story. Although Nate suggested The Innocents, and I couldn't handle that movie. Rocket launchers and cocaine. I haven't seen this movie. Don't spoil it. I don't know if there's a rocket launcher in it, but I'm starting to feel like there might be.
No, there's no rocket launcher in it.
Okay, good. But there is cocaine, right?
Oh yeah.
I saw that the one TikTok guy that does the working at retail thing. He plays like a paramedic. I saw he's in it, which is kind of
man. I gotta say, man, the ambulance scene is it's awesome.
Okay. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Cocaine Bear. I haven't seen it, and I don't plan on seeing it until it's somewhere streaming. So, yeah. Anyway, so I want to do a prediction thing with you. Scream 6. What percentage do you think it'll end up on your list? I know it's a tough question. I'm saying for me, it's going to be 84%. I think the audience score is going to be about 72.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly better than Scream 5. I know it's hard to think, but the dude from Grimm is in it. I don't even know what Grimm is. Is that a TV show? Anyway, do you have any ideas like where it might?
Probably anywhere between 85 to 87% for me.
If you think it's going to be better than Scream 5, let's say 86, because your Scream 5 score is 85.5. So, anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I can't wait. I should order my tickets. I should order my tickets today. Let me see. I was kind of like, one of the problems I have is for some reason, my theater has them like jacked up by $3 because they're making it. It's a Thursday night event thing, and it's like, come on, you never did this before. I saw fucking Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange and Thor the night before, and I didn't have to pay an extra $3 per ticket. So I'm looking right now because I need to just, slit the throat and get the damn tickets. Get it? Are you going to see Creed 3?
I haven't seen Creed 1 or 2.
Okay. Not a fan.
The last Rocky movie I saw was Rocky Balboa. I've been wanting to see the Creed movies. I just haven't gotten around to them.
There are plenty of seats left. Check it out.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of this now. Should I say I'm a senior citizen? Because it's $3 cheaper.
Go for it.
I'm a senior in high school. Anyway, so Scream 6. I hope this isn't like a Scream 3. There is a slight possibility this movie is awful.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm not ruling that out.
Yeah, I hope it's not. I don't have my wallet. Just realized I don't have my wallet. I have $5 coupon. Yeah. I love my theater. There's a rewards program, and I get coupons every now and again. So I'm getting $5 off, saving $5. Anyway, so let's wrap this show up because there's not much more to talk about. We got a lot to talk about next week, but let's go over the scores again. Seth has a score of 85.5 on this one, and I have an 80, which came out to a average score between the two of us, and that's how we do it. of 83%. Now, we did the 5-star rating reviews on our Facebook page, where this is a community ranking, so I'm calling it the audience score, and it's a 69%, which is very sexy, if you ask me. Uh, anyway, before we go, I'm going to play our opening for Discourse, and we'll be back in a second.
Such sights to show you.
Hell yeah.
Should make a shorter one for like an ad, because I want to do that for both shows. Have like an ad pop up for, hey, this show's every Wednesday. Hey, this show's every whatever. Yeah, so every Wednesday night we do the Horror Syndicate Discourse. That is coming up on Wednesday, and we will be talking about, I believe we are talking about Drag Me to Hell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Drag Me to Hell is coming up on Wednesday, and then Supernatural Syndicate is happening on Tuesday. You got a busy week ahead of you, pal. What are you guys talking about this week?
This week is The Hook Man.
The Hooker Man. So there you go. So Supernatural Syndicate on Tuesday, the Horror Syndicate Discourse on Wednesday, and of course we are talking Scream 6 on Friday after we see it. We're going to see it on Thursday, and we're going to have like a circle jerk, a 2-man circle jerk about it. I really want to see the new Children of the Corn. I'm curious about that myself. You have night blindness. That sucks. Thanks for the promo. That's also the opening for the show. But anyway, Seth, let's finish this episode up with some final thoughts. Final thoughts on this one. Scream 5.
Final thoughts. I thought it was a good follow up. I mean, what was it? It was 11 years after Scream 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 11 years after Scream 4 with a new set of writers, new directors involved. They established new characters, and they basically just kind of cast aside some of the legacy characters for a little bit, but it was still very entertaining despite all those factors. So to me, I felt like it was they were on the right path, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys do next week when Scream 6 comes out. Worst case scenario, it sucks. Best case scenario, it's awesome.
In middle case scenario, it's meh. Yeah, I think that this was a better way of bringing a cast of legacy characters into a movie than Star Wars did, which I think they were making fun of Rian Johnson, what he did anyway. So I like Scream 5.
But
go ahead.
The funny thing with that is they made the same goddamn mistake as the Disney Star Wars movies, where you don't have the legacy characters all together.
Yep. Disney showed up right after Dewey died, essentially, and
yeah.
Well, I forgot to mention, I didn't like that. She knew that was Billy's daughter. That was weird. Like, I did like whenever Gail called her New Girl. Hey, New Girl. We've been through it. I thought that was great. I love Courtney Cox. But anyway, I like this movie quite a bit. And it's growing on me more and more. Like I said, I can't wait until we get to Halloween because when I get to watch Halloween Kills again, I think I'm gonna like it even more now because of I saw somebody put up a post in our Horror Syndicate group. By the way, if you're not a part of the Horror Syndicate group, we have a group on Facebook. It's a private group. You can join. I'll accept your invitation or whatever it is, and you can post whatever the fuck you want because people try to post stuff to our wall and it doesn't show up to anybody but me. So if you want to post something, want to talk with other horror fans, get into the Horror Syndicate group on Facebook and post away. And it's great when people are active because it's fun to just talk to horror fans about horror stuff, and also I will not stand for bullshit. Like I see bullshit in some of these other groups, and it's like somebody needs to fucking reel these people in. I'll fucking bounce people out of the group if that's the case. Don't fuck with Seth and his werewolf loving. Anyway.
Oh, dude. What? Did you see the I know I said I wasn't going to read the comments on the last time you posted my
oh shit, I haven't seen the comments at all.
There was one that was hilarious. This one guy who gave the post an angry face emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta find it so I can look at it. All right, 18 comments. That post, man, this is gonna be your next one is gonna be the ultimate werewolf list. That's what you should name it, the ultimate werewolf ranking, because it is okay. So Richard Walters was it Walters? Yeah, Walters. Okay, I'm gonna read his comment aloud. I like the first comment I see though. I just scrolled all the way through to see if you got number one right. You did. It's obvious at this point what number one's gonna be. Dog Soldier's the best one. American Werewolf in London, The Howling, Bad Moon, and Any More Maybe. Bad Moon fan. This fucking guy's driving me crazy, by the way. Faith Llamas would fuck a werewolf up. Just saying. This guy have you seen this guy? Chuck Javier Santiago. He will not stop talking about Llamageddon. We get it already. Just review the best horror movie ever. I'm never going to watch that movie now. All right. Richard Walter says, bring glory to the Lord Jesus Christ. I didn't see this. Do not give blind obedience into Satan. And then Guy Lillian says, okay. Did you comment?
No, I just hit the laugh emoji to it.
Okay, that's amazing.
But it's funny because I thought you saw that because you posted something about House of the Devil, and I kept checking to see if he commented on that, but he didn't. But
oh man, does he even like the page? Let me find out if he likes the page. That's amazing. That's one of the best comments we've ever gotten of all time. No, he doesn't like the page. He needs to come like the page. Oh man, House of the Devil is a good movie. I was thinking about rewatching all the Ty West movies, and I was looking at the website, and I saw that. I was like, oh shit, I should share that again because I like that movie quite a bit.
I just ordered Pearl.
Did you? Yeah, Pearl's cool, man. I like that movie. The comments are pretty good. This guy says he prefers The Innkeepers. Have you seen The Innkeepers?
I have not seen that one.
I like it. You may not like it because it's kind of got it's like a ghost type story. This guy, Victor Ferreira, says The Innkeepers is horrible, but House of the Devil has the best 80s atmosphere I have ever seen in a film made after that period. It's cool. I agree with that, actually. Not the horrible part, but the 80s atmosphere thing. Always love Ty West. I love Ty West movies. When I saw House of the Devil, it was about 2010, 2011, and I was trying to do a thing where I was getting ready to do my top 100 movies, which I did every year after watching new ones, which I don't anymore because it's a pain in the ass. But I watched that, and I was like, oh my god! I looked him up on IMDb immediately. I saw The Innkeepers was on there. I was like, oh my God, I got to see The Innkeepers. I saw that he had a segment in VHS, made sure to watch that. And then after The Sacrament came out, I went ahead and checked that out. Oh my God, what's this? I got some lore. The Hookman. Oh, okay. Talking about that show that you guys do, Batman. Fuck yeah, The Innkeepers is great. This is a long comment. I saw Halloween Ends in the theater because I got drunk and watched Halloween Kills in my bedroom. Dude, if you're going to fuck everything up, I want to see it on the big screen. Love The Roost and House of the Devil. I've never seen The Roost. Hi. But yeah, man, I love reading these comments sometimes aloud. You know, I like to read them while I'm taking a shit. Let's just sit there on the toilet, be all like, oh, The Innkeepers is a great film. Creepy AF. Oh. Bye West with yet another shitter. All his movies suck. Bye West. Come on. And then somebody put a wrong emoji. Fantastic. Love these. And The Roost. I should watch The Roost, I guess. I should have, you know what I should do is break out the comments for Scream 5 and see what people say about that. You mind if I do that real fast?
Go for it, man.
I'm curious to see what they say about that. Pick me a minute. By the way, if anybody's wondering, it's Jessica Biel's birthday, and every time I post that picture up, it gets a ton of shares because every horror fan is a pervert, and I identify with that. All right, Scream 5, 41 comments. Let's see if I can find some good ones. This is from our followers on our Facebook page. Slight improvement over Scream 4, but the new cast I could not get into. I can't stand Jenna Ortega. That's rare. I think it seems like everybody likes Jenna Ortega. I liked it. Still going with 3 stars though. Honestly, nothing really stuck with me except Jenna Ortega. Stephen Green says it was okay. Very, very predictable. John Griffin Jr. I agree. Just like Halloween 2018, I can't just call it. Oh, because my comment was on it was something to the effect of I hate that it's called Scream, or not called Scream 5. So that person agrees with me. Thank you, Jonathan Griffin. I really enjoyed it. Loved it. One of my favorite movies of 2022. I think it was in my top 10. Philip Davis. It's Scream garbage. 1 at best. 1 star at best. Michelle Nelson. I didn't care for Jenna Ortega's character or her acting. I think I am the only one who don't like this movie. Read the comments. Yeah, so nothing really exciting. What I'll do is, I think this week with Scream 6 coming out, I think I'm going to bring back the videos that I used to do where I read people's comments, and I'll ask, how excited for Scream 6 are you? And do a video on that, because I'm excited. I know you're excited. I know a lot of people are excited. If I can get like 10 comments on that post, I will do a video on it and put it on our YouTube channel. And speaking of YouTube, what should they do? I plan on watching Infinity Pool at some point. What should they do, Seth?
There's I forget what it's called. There's like this red button, and you have to do something with subs.
It's Subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe
to our YouTube channel.
All right, and that's going to do it for us tonight. We'll see you next Friday for 2 shows. Remember, we're going to get on earlier and do a quick Scream 6 non-spoiler review, and then we will do a Scream ranking show, and we'll be ranking the ghost faces, the different ghost faces. We'll be ranking the movies, and we're going to rank the openings. and we're gonna rank Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox's hairstyles for each movie. No, we're not doing that because they always change. Their hair's never the same. You know, I especially think my favorite is Scream 2. I love Gail's, the streaks, and I love Dewey. Nice streaks.
Yeah.
I love that. And Nev Campbell has kind of the same hairdo. But, I think Sydney's 4 and 5 looks are basically the same, though. And, of course, Gail has the bangs in Scream 3. So, anyway, we're not doing that. We can, if we do that, we have to rate David Arquette's mustache. Because Scream 2 was the worst. He had that little flip going. It's like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rank Children of the Corn. You know what? I'll do it for you right now. Seth, you got one more minute?
Yeah. I'm in no rush.
All right. Well, I've got, Steven, if you ever get bored, we have a website called thehorrorsyndicate.com. And there's a shit ton of articles and rankings on there. And I did, in fact, rank the Children of the Corn movies. And I will show you what it looks like as soon as I pull it up. I actually love the first Children of the Corn movie quite a bit.
I've seen most of them, but not all of them.
In 2019, when I did my 500, I watched all of them within a few days, and that was like the best way ever to rank something, is watching them all back to back to back, because they were all fresh in my brain. And yeah. Anyway, so is it up on the screen?
Like the I saw most of the 2009 one, and I turned it off, not even halfway through.
Yeah, you hated it.
But the last one prior to the one in the apartment building or whatever, and there was like it was like ghost children.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, part 8?
No, I think that was the 7th one.
7, yeah, that was 7.
So this is for you, Steven. So the Children of the Corn ranked. I did all 10 of them. The first one, or the last one, really, number 10 is Fields of Terror. This is just a shitty movie that was boring and didn't go anywhere. And speaking of David Arquette, Alexis Arquette was in it as a guy. And then Revelation, which I think that's the one you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was shit. Complete.
Did not like that one at all.
Yeah, Genesis. This one was the newest one, second newest one, and it had almost nothing to do with the lore of the Children of the Corn. And this one was the same thing. Had almost nothing to do with the Children of the Corn. It was garbage. Isaac's Return could have been better. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't terrible for me. The biggest problem, I think I wrote it in here, was they brought back the actor who plays Isaac, John Franklin, and he just looks like an old man, a short old man.
Yeah,
like where he looked like a kid in the original movie. Of course, this is 15 years after the original. Then I got Children of the Corn 2009, and I know what you're thinking, Seth. Yes, it's better than all those other ones. It's as bad as this one is. It's better than all the other ones. I'm not a fan of these 5 to 10. So now okay. I like part 2. What were you gonna say? You got something?
I would say, I mean, at least with some of the other ones, I was able to finish them.
Well, yeah, I did finish this one because I wanted to get a proper ranking. But I saw this in the theater, The Last Sacrifice.
Really?
Yeah, I loved the original film when I was a kid, and I watched it a lot. And I told my mom, I was like, "Hey, can I go see this?" She's like, "Yeah, I got to work, but I'll drop you off at the Lincoln, which is this old time theater in the town I live in." And I went and saw it, and I fucking loved it, man. It was fun. It's terrible, but I still like it. The worst part about this is it doesn't have its own release. It comes together with the third movie, and then there's this like 6-pack. I wish it had its own individual release, because I actually do like this one. And I think there are things about it that they drop a house on an old lady in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, I like it. And Children of the Corn 3, I hated when I was younger, but Mike Lombardo, from the director of I'm Dreaming of White Doomsday, told me rewatch it. It's better than you remember, and he was right. I ended up really enjoying it. I hated it when I was younger. This is my least favorite because I couldn't stand this kid. But after watching it as a 19-year-old rather than a 15-year-old, because I was 15 whenever I saw this for the first time, I liked it. And that was one of the best things about the 90s growing up is like it seemed like every year you could go to the video store and find a new Children of the Corn movie, because they're all straight to video.
Yeah.
And this part 4, The Gathering, was better than I expected. I remember seeing it back, in '96, I guess, and I liked it then. But watching it again in 2019, I was like, damn, this is not a bad movie overall. I thought it was a pretty good sequel. Did you see that one?
That's my number 2 as well.
Yeah.
I think that one's really solid. It's a really good horror movie.
Yeah, it's got Naomi Watts in it, and like these kids are coming out with fevers, and there's one kind of eerie scene where there's a kid walking with like hoofs, like goat legs or whatever. It's like, oh, it's not bad. It's another one that I'd like to have. It's like they need to release some of these on Blu-ray. If they did Children of the Corn set, I'd probably buy it because overall I like the series. And then of course, I mean, it's fucking obvious. Children of the Corn is going to be the first one. First thing you got Linda Hamilton singing at the very beginning of the movie, and then you got Peter. What's his last name?
Horton.
Peter Horton, yeah, he's good in it. I like him. I love Malachi walking down the street with Linda Hamilton. Outlander, we have your woman, and Isaac's creepy. Like, there's no way to remake Children of the Corn unless they cast an adult who looks like a child, because this, John Franklin, who plays Isaac, was so perfect at the time for this role. And he's eerie, he's scary, and he's got this power over all of these kids because he was able to talk to He Who Walks Behind the Rose and all that shit. So sure, the effects aren't great, but it's a fun. I like this movie still to this day. I like Children of the Corn. It's always been one of my favorites. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
on the Horror Syndicate.
The first movie was like I
didn't
want to have kids. I didn't trust kids after seeing
yeah.
And then eventually
your kids
I did become a dad, but funny story is like when they were real little, if we were driving someplace, especially if we're like on Main Street, we'd roll down the back windows and have them yell out Outlander. That's what
Outlander.
They didn't get the reference, but they enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's awesome. Have you showed it to him since?
No, I've been wanting to though.
Oh, dude, you should. Matter of fact, if you don't have it, where I don't remember, I put these. Arrow released a Blu-ray copy of it, and it looks phenomenal and sounds phenomenal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. I think I showed this to you once. I still have that up. There it is.
I need to get that.
Yeah, I got this. The only thing I didn't like, it came in a blue case. I like when they have their white cases, but it also has the original, poster art on there. I love Arrow, man. And I think there's a poster. Yeah, there's a poster of this inside there. So, pretty cool stuff, man. I wonder if it's a poster, a two-sided poster. Remember when I found out about American Werewolf in London last week?
Yeah.
A two-sided poster. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hold on. Hold the phone. Oh.
Nice.
This is going up.
Too.
Fuck yes, it is. This is going up. And the other side is this, actually, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, oh my God, I gotta go get a fucking frame. That's amazing. Damn it. I need to start looking at my posters. Damn it. And oh yeah. Also, the disc is fantastic. Got Malachi screaming. I'm watching this tonight. You've convinced me. I'm watching it tonight. But anyway, yeah, it's. I think this is a great addition. It's got a lot of special features too, and I know you like to dig in on those like I do. So, it's 2K restoration, brand new audio commentary. God, a couple of them, and then there's a interview with, commentary with John Franklin, which is awesome, and Courtney Gaines. I haven't watched that, but I need to. A retrospective featuring a couple of the characters, and then it's called Harvesting Horror, and it was the '80s documentary, which I've actually seen before with Linda Hamilton. Because when I got this, I watched everything because I have this love affair with this movie. I think I've already done this on this show, but I've got like everything. Here, let me show off my little collection. Since Steven brought this up, now I got to talk about it.
Well, no, what's funny is I went to order Children of the Corn on Blu-ray from Amazon, and it had the original poster art. It said Linda Hamilton and everything, but they sent me the 2009 film.
Oh,
yeah.
So I have this DVD. This was the original thing I got, which looked like that. And that came with like an insert, so I was like, "Fuck that!" So I slid that insert in there. But I miss DVDs coming with books. It has a little book with different things in there, and a child shall lead them. Yeah, man. I do have all of them. This is what I was talking about with 2. It's got some cheap art on there and part 3s with it. And then I do have 3 by itself. I actually have all the rest of them by themselves. I even have this garbage piece of shit. Actually, 4? I don't have 4? Yeah, I guess I don't have 4. Because I got Genesis. I went on a fucking rampage and buying all these in 2019 because I was like, I need to have all of them for some reason. And there's Isaac's Return. That's an old one. Remember that spine at the top of it?
Yeah.
And then, of course, the remake. 99 cents, bro. 99 cents. And then I got this, which has 6 movies in it, and that's where I have my 4th movie. So, whatever, I like these movies for the most part. The good, the bad, and the very bad. But yeah, if you can, man, I don't know how much it is at this point. Get your hands on a copy of this. It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
So I gotta keep that out. So, because I'm going to watch it, and you know what it's going to do for me? It's going to satisfy. Anyway, so yeah, that's our show. Sorry about that little detour into Gatlin, Nebraska. We'll be back. I mean, that was kind of fun. We should do a random show about random movies like this. Maybe go through one of our lists on the horrorsyndicate.com because I like doing that actually. Or maybe we should just do another show. Let's do a show every night. Anyway, Seth, anything else before we go? We're going to go for real this time.
No.
Okay.
Just have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, have a good night. If you're going to go see Scream, enjoy it. Check out the Horror Syndicate Discourse on Wednesday at 6:30, 7:30 Eastern. And then on Tuesday, we've got the Supernatural Syndicate at, 8:30 Central?
Yeah.
Yeah, so check that out. And we will see you next Friday as we will talk about Scream 6.